Everyone's fun around, and my name is Jordan. This video will be for Monday's slate of games. We have 10 games to go through. I'm going to go through each game. I'm going to talk about how teams have been playing recently. I'm going to talk about their motivation, if they're going to want to play, and I'm going to give the best matchup that I see for that game for potential player props, and then I will put my plays in the pinned comment. I usually film the night before, so I do not have all the lines out. That's why I will be giving out information to help you with your picks. The first game will be the Heat at the Knicks. The Knicks are 7.5-point favorites. The Heat, Andrew Wiggins is questionable, and the Knicks, Jalen Brunson remains out. I'm going to give this one medium blowout potential. The Heat have lost 7 straight games, and they are 2-5 against the spread. The Knicks are 2-2 without Brunson and 2-2 against the spread. The Heat have just been awful. The Heat currently are in a play-in game, and they would need to lose quite a bit to get out of that and fall into the lottery, which they are losing quite a bit. As it stands right now, they would want to try to climb, through that play-in game. The Knicks, they have the 3 seed and they have a pretty decent hold on it, so they're going to want to win to kind of lock up their playoff spot. And a matchup that I like is going to be OG Anunoby. The Heat give up the 9th most points to the power forward position, and he's been pretty consistent as of late. Out of the last 7 games, he scored 20 plus in 6 out of the last 7, and he's taking 15 plus field goal attempts in the last 9 games. So I really like the volume there, especially with Jalen Brunson now. Look out for OG Anunoby. Second game is going to be the 76ers, who will be on a back-to-back versus the Rockets. Rockets are 13.5-point favorites. This is high blowout potential. Sixers did not have Maxey or Paul George on Sunday, or Kelly Oubre. We'll see how the injury report looks for Monday. Rockets will have no Amen Thompson. The Sixers are 3-7 in the last 10 and 5-5 against the spread. The Rockets have won 6 straight, and they are 5-1 against the spread in those 6 games. The Sixers right now, they have a top 6 protected pick. If they fall out of the top 6, that pick will go to the Thunder in the lottery. We do not need the Thunder to have a chance at Cooper Flag. So they're sitting at the 6th spot right now. They do not need to win any more games. They're in danger of the Raptors falling into that 6th spot. And then the Rockets, they are tied for 2nd in the West with 2 other teams. They're going to want to win to kind of solidify their seeding. So you have one team that needs to lose. You have one team that is going to want to win. High blowout potential. This is a game I'm going to want to stay away from. The third game will be the Pacers at the Timberwolves. Timberwolves will be on a back-to-back, and they are 7.5-point favorites. Pacers, Pascal Siakam is out, and Miles Turner and Tyrese Halliburton are now questionable. The Timberwolves, Mike Conley rested on Sunday. We'll see if we have any updates for injuries. They did have a blowout, and a lot of their guys got to sit, so that was good for them. Pacers are 5-5 in the last 10 and 0-6 against the spread in the last 6 games. Timberwolves, they've won 8 straight, and they're 6-2 in those 8 games. Pacers are the 5th seed right now. They could fall into the play-in game, but it would take a lot of losing. So they just need to kind of solidify their 5th seed. The Timberwolves are in a play-in game, and they're fighting right now with the Warriors to secure the 6th seed, so they're definitely going to want to win. They should play most of their guys, so a matchup that I do like is going to be Anthony Edwards. I did check his back-to-backs. He does seem to play fine on back-to-backs, and he got the rest that he needed. Not having to play too much. Played 31 minutes, and he scored 41 points on Sunday. So the Pacers giving up the 11th most points to the shooting guard position. You know the volume's going to be there. He's going to take a ton of shots. He's going to do whatever he can to win this game. And versus the Pacers last year, he had 37 points and 44 points against them. So I like Anthony Edwards in this matchup. And if you guys could, please like the video. And if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. If you have a little bit of extra time, could you leave a comment for the algorithm? You just put the number 1. That helps get this video out there for more people to see. And also, if you want to get away from Prizepicks, you want to try out something with dynamic payouts, more options, all that, check out Underdog Fantasy, Sleeper, ParlayPlay, ChalkBoard, or Better. Underdog's matching your first deposit up to $1,000. The rest are doing it up to $100, and Better's matching your first bet up to $250. Promo code is fine around 11. Links are in the description. That'll take you straight there. This fourth game is the Pistons at the Pelicans. Pistons are 6-point favorites. This one has medium blowout potential. The Pistons have no new significant injuries in the Pelicans. Zion is iffy with personal reasons, and Kelly Olynyk and Vis Misi are questionable. That's the two other bigs for the Pelicans. Pistons are 5-5 in the last 10 and 5-5 against the spread, and the Pelicans are 3-7 in the last 10 and 3-7 against the spread. Pistons, they have a slightly stronghold on the 6th seed in the East to avoid the play-in game. They're definitely going to want to win to not have to fall into that play-in game. The Pelicans are 4th right now in the lottery. You want to be in the top 3 for the lottery, so they definitely are going to want to lose this game. So a matchup that I do like, and he had a bad game last game, so I'm looking for a bounce back. He played against the Thunder. Jalen Durant has a good matchup versus the Pelicans, who could have 3 of their main bigs out. They give up the 6th most points and the 3rd most rebounds to the center position. So definitely looking for Jalen Durant, especially for something like a double-double that I could potentially add to a parlay. This 5th game is the Bulls at the Jazz. The Bulls are 5.5-point favorites. The Jazz will be on a back-to-back. This has medium to high blowout potential just based off of who the Jazz throw out there. The Bulls, Josh Giddey is unlikely to play, and Kobe White is likely. The Jazz, anyone could be out for them. On Sunday, Jordan Clarkson, John Collins, Keontae George were all out. Those guys could sit out again. Colin Sexton could sit out. Lauri Markkanen, Walker Kessler, all could sit out. They did get fined for sitting Lauri Markkanen. There is a policy about guys who are former All-Stars or All-NBA players. If you sit them too much, you could get fined. That's why they targeted Lauri Markkanen. He was an All-Star a couple years ago. So they can keep sitting these other guys, but Lauri Markkanen, they might have to keep throwing out there. The Bulls are 4-1 in the last 5 and 5-0 against the spread. The Jazz have lost 9 straight, but they're 5-4 against the spread in those 9 games. These are actually 2 of the top 3 fastest paces in the NBA. So if we got a competitive game, then it would be a very high scoring game, or at least it should be. The Bulls are in the 10 seed right now, looking to move up to the 7 and 8 slot. So they're going to want to win. And the Jazz, they're the worst team in the NBA. They're going to want to continue to keep losing. So that's why I say medium to high blowout potential. I don't know who's going to be sitting for the Jazz. If they play their main guys, they're actually pretty solid. But a matchup that I do like is going to be Kobe White. He's played great, and definitely with Josh Giddey out. Jazz give up the 8th most points to the shooting guard position, the 3rd most rebounds, and the 2nd most assists. He has scored 25 or more points in 5 out of the last 7 games, and he has scored 20 or more points in 8 out of the last 8 games. So really like Kobe White in this matchup. Game number 6 is the Grizzlies at the Kings. The Kings are 1-point favorites. Grizzlies do not have Ja Morant, and Santi Aldama is doubtful. For the Kings, Trey Lyles is questionable. The Grizzlies are 5-1 in the last 6, but they're actually 2-13 against the spread in the last 15 games. It's just something I noticed. 2-13 against the spread. That is crazy. The Kings are 1-5 in the last 6, and then 3-3 against the spread in those 6. Grizzlies are tied for the 2nd seed. They're going to want to win to secure their slot in the playoffs. The Kings right now are in that bottom playing game where if you lose, you're out, and you have to win twice. Trying to get up to that 7-8 playing game. So they're going to want to win. So we have a really good matchup on our hands. Matchup that I do like is Jaren Jackson Jr. The Kings give up the 5th most points to the power forward position. He had 28 last time they played on January 3rd. Ja Morant also was out in that game. And then for the other side of things, the Kings, the most consistent player that I can find, because this is such a good matchup, and the Grizzlies, they play at a fast pace. Someone's going to have to score a lot of points. DeMar DeRozan, I feel, has been the most consistent looking at all the stats. A lot of the other guys, Malik Monk and Zach LaVine, kind of been up and down. Grizzlies give up the 5th most points to the small forward position. He's had 20 or more points in 7 out of the last 8 games, so that's why I do like that consistency there. So he's the one I would look out for. In this 7th game is the Nuggets at the Warriors. Warriors are 5-point favorites. The Nuggets, Aaron Gordon, Jokic, and Jamal Murray are all questionable, and Christian Brown is probable. Warriors, Steph Curry is questionable, and Podziemski is out. And Quentin Post, the backup center, is questionable for the Warriors. The Nuggets are 5-5 in the last 10 and 2-8 against the spread. The Warriors are 11-1 since the All-Star break and 8-4 against the spread. They're playing great basketball right now, and it's helping them to move up into a secure playoff spot. The Nuggets, they are tied for 2nd place. They want to win this one. The Warriors, like I said, they're just outside that 6th seed, and they're in a play-in game. But a matchup I like here, if he plays, is going to be Nikola Jokic up against the Warriors. Right now, the Warriors are actually pretty tough against the center position, giving up points. They're not good at giving up rebounds. That's why you see the rebounds match up on the screen. They give up the 5th most rebounds to the center position. But scoring-wise, when it comes to Jokic, they can't stop him. His last 5 meetings he's had versus the Warriors, he's had 38 points, 32, 34, 26, and 35. They do not have the size to slow him down. So I really like Jokic for scoring, and rebounds is a good matchup for him. This 8th game is the Raptors, who will be on a back-to-back, versus the Suns, who will also be on a back-to-back. The Suns are 8.5-point favorites. Raptors, they did not have RJ Barrett. They did not have Grady Dick or Emmanuel Quickley on Sunday. And Scotty Barnes is actually one of those guys who was an all-star, and they can't keep sitting him or play around with the lineup with Scotty Barnes, or they will get fined. So that's why you keep seeing Scotty Barnes out there. They may have an excuse here with the back-to-back, so we'll see if Scotty Barnes plays. For the Suns, Bradley Beal left Sunday's game. We'll see if he plays on Monday. Raptors are 6-2 in the last 8 and 7-1 against the spread. They definitely have the players to compete. They just keep sitting these guys. The Suns are 4-6 in the last 10 and 6-4 against the spread. The Raptors could possibly get into a play-in game, but it's not likely that they will. And the Suns are just outside the 10 seed for the play-in game. They're trying to win to get in there. I don't really trust either of these teams right now. Kevin Durant has the best matchup for scoring, but he can really, go off in the first half, and then he really fades away. And then the next game is the Wizards at the Blazers, who will be on a back-to-back. Trailblazers are 4.5-point favorites. Wizards, Corey Kispert has been ruled out, and Marcus Smart is questionable with an illness. Blazers did not have Jeremy Grant or Jabari Walker on Sunday. Wizards also not tanking correctly. They're 6-4 in the last 10 and 5-5 against the spread. Blazers are 2-6 in the last 8 and 4-4 against the spread. Both of these teams play at top 10 paces, and with the Blazers on a back-to-back and the Wizards, you don't know what they're going to do with their starters. Sometimes they just randomly sit them. You can't really trust them. For the Trailblazers, I did look at Deni Avdija because he does seem kind of trustworthy. But I checked his back-to-backs, and every single time I looked at his back-to-back, that second game, he was awful. And this is his former team, the Wizards, but he's just been awful in back-to-back. So this is another game I'm going to fade. And this last game is going to be the Spurs at the Lakers. Lakers are 9.5-point favorites. Lakers are on a back-to-back. Spurs have no new significant injuries. Lakers, they did not have Rui or LeBron on Sunday. Luka could sit on the back-to-back like he did the last back-to-back. Spurs are 4-6 in the last 10 and 4-6 against the spread. Lakers are 1-3 since LeBron got hurt, and 2-2 against the spread. So Luka could potentially sit, and Austin Reeves would step into this position at that kind of point guard, do everything position. So I'm putting both of these guys up on the screen, but this matchup is for that point guard role. So if Luka plays, I really like Luka. The Spurs give up the 8th most points, 12th most rebounds, 2nd most assists to the point guard position. We know Austin Reeves can just fill up the stat sheet whenever Luka is out. So it's really going to be determined by that injury report. And we know the Lakers want to win to secure their playoff spot. Spurs season's pretty much over. They want to lose and just develop guys like Stephon Castle. So if you'd like to discuss lines further, I have a Discord. Link is in the description. You can hop on in there, talk about lines all day long. I know baseball is coming up. March Madness is coming up. That Discord is free. And as far as the recap goes of the last video, I did 3 different parlays. I had one parlay for plus 103 on DraftKings. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander for 30, Curry for 20, and Sengun for 30 plus PRA. Those all hit sweat-free. Then I had a parlay with Giannis for 12 plus rebounds and Mikovic of the Pelicans, the center, for 15 PRA plus. Mikovic hit and Giannis came up short. He fouled out against the Pacers, so that one did not hit. But then I had a money line parlay with the Bucks and the Warriors, who both won for plus 108 and plus 102 on Fanduel and DraftKings. So I'm going to get this edited and get it out to you. God bless you all. It's the final round. My name is Jordan. I will catch you on the next one. Bye.